Hey guys, good afternoon. How's your Monday going? I hope everything is okay. I just wanted to say hello and just touch base. Today, I had in mind to show you how I clip my ends. So, for all my natural curly girls, you do not have to always straighten your hair in order to clip your ends. And you also do not have to always wet your hair or have your hair soaking wet to clip your ends. So I'm just going to show you something real quick. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but basically you would, make sure your hair is not up, if you wear your hair normally in a specific style, the cut or the trim is just basically to remove some dead ends. It is not the type of cut where you're looking to see if your hair is bone straight, even to every single strand. So if you were to clip your ends and then you were to straighten it out, it would not be even at the zero gravity level, which is basically it's just down or straight down. So just wanted to let you know that basically what you can do when you have your curly cues, you pull that whole strand out. This is a whole curl. It's not one single strand, but it's a clump of curls. So you pull that out. And you're not going to pull it all the way down to, all the way out like that, but you're just going to pull it so that way you can see the ends. And you see how my ends are a little split. And so then you're just going to clip. And it's actually a snip. And so you may not have to do all of them all the way through, but you can tell that your ends are needing to be snipped because a lot of times it will feel bumpy on the ends. It may feel frizzy. And a lot of times they'll end up straight because they're no longer curling on the ends. So that's one indication of how it may feel. Now, how it looks, they may look very frizzy, as I said. And you can also see the little split ends where just the hair is split off from the main shaft of the hair. And these hairs are no longer receiving any kind of, moisture. Now, if you just feel like you need to loosen up your hair, if your hair is dry and it's maybe a little too tight, you can take something to hydrate it just a little bit. It's not soaking wet, but it's just enough to loosen up the dry hair. Now, the reason why I'm telling you to pull, your ends out a little bit is because, as you know, our hair coils up. And so, just like this one right here, it's coiled up. So if you cut that end off, that may not be really the end. The end may be, look how long the end is. So this is the end down here. But if I left it coiled up here and I snipped it, that would be a lot to cut off. So that's why I'm saying to at least when you get to the end, straighten those out a little bit so that way you'll know where to clip. So that's just a quick tip today on clipping your ends. Now, why do you need to clip your ends? Dead ends are not your friend. Let me say that again. Dead ends are not your friend. Dead ends are not your friend because, number one, or in other words, split ends. Let me put it that way. Split ends are not your friend. Now, if you have a few little one strand knots in there, then you need to go ahead and release those. And sometimes you may have to use a little cream, conditioner, or some kind of hydration, little water to release that knot. They're not your friend because they don't behave. They're most of the time dried out. They're not receiving any moisture because whatever you put on your hair at the shampoo stage and even after you shampoo, a styling, see the knot is on the very end. So since it's on the very end, I'm just going to snip that one off. This was the knot. The knot. Since they do not receive any moisture, when you put oil or any kind of conditioning treatment or any kind of treatment on your hair from the shampoo stage or thereafter, that actually soaks into the hair shaft. Now, if you have a split end and it is not actually fully attached to the hair shaft, it's just an end that's just hanging on. It's not receiving anything. By the time it gets down to this part right here and this split, it is not going to receive anything, any other nutrients that you are adding to your hair and you're trying to get it to penetrate into the hair. It's not going to add anything to that. It's just going to be a dead weight hanging on, ruining your hairstyle, making your hair look dull. And the thing is that split ends continue to split. So they don't just stay down here. If you don't clip them off, they go all the way up. Then there are people that feel like, I will never cut my hair. It's okay. It doesn't bother me. But you're hanging on to a dead weight that's not going to allow your hair to perform at its best. So consider that. As I said, this is a clipping, a trim. I understand that people do not want to have a whole chunk of hair cut off. I totally understand that. If you're not into the big chop, I totally understand that. But you still need to trim those split ends. So I'll be going through my whole head, and that's just the tip for today. Okay, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.